FnaticRaidCall Invitational. This is HerO against BBoongBBoong, our last best of 3 in the round of 16, and then we will start with a round of 8 matches, which will be streamed live from the Fnatic house, with all the players being present. Right now at the bottom left of the map of Daybreak we have HerO starting in the blue color, and his opponent is none other than BBoongBBoong to the top right in pink. Once again today with me is Wolf, casting with me from the Fnatic house. Welcome once more, and yeah, pretty cool matchup, PvZ right now.
This should be really interesting to watch. I feel like more of the games I get to see for BBoongBBoong are actually ZVTs rather than CVPs, so I kind of just want to see how he plays against HerO, someone who's really well known for interesting and creative PvZ play. I mean, right now, what Genius is often credited with his Stargate play, HerO was doing months ago as well, and he's a real big innovator of this matchup, so it should be really cool to see these two titans clash, if you will. And a very quick scout from HerO. We'll see the timing of the pool. He's actually going to harass the minerals a little bit. I like that.
We've seen a very interesting game from Seed against Moon on this map, with the Stargate opening on one base actually. He went for kind of a standard, old school standard wall in with gate and cybernetics core, did even skip on the warp gate technology and built one stargate and started to harass the third. Moon was able to kind of spot that there's something fishy was going on and cancel the third though, but I liked the thought process that he was just trying to do something a little bit different in order to throw his opponent off, because Protoss players, let's face it, they have been struggling a little bit against Zerg. Zerg figuring out all the timings, so it made it quite hard for Protoss to stick to the old strategies. And wow, very nice. BBoongBBoong here dropping the hatch despite the probe trying to block it off, so well done.
Yeah, that's so important. If you can do something like that, you get lucky. It's so important to get that early lead in hatchery production. HerO went Nexus before Forge, so he is going to have to get that cannon up ASAP as the pool is now done. And it looks like we're only going to have 2 Zerglings instead of 4 actually. Oh, there they go. I thought he was going to try to squeeze an extra drone out, considering that he didn't have to kill the pylon, but
the number of zealots can be so important. I still remember when Naniwa was playing against Lucky on Crossfire, and well, we talked a little about it already, but Lucky, instead of 4 Zerglings, which was still standard, he went for 6 Zerglings, was able to kill the first zealot of Naniwa, and Naniwa talked to me later about it and was like, yeah, 6 Zerglings, this was what basically killed me. I lost my zealot, I couldn't scout anymore, I had no detection, I had no control of the Xelaga watchtower. I saw everything way too late, could not block after this, and just those 2 additional Zerglings, they sometimes decide over a win or lose.
Yeah. You know, right now I feel like Protoss is not like the strongest race as far as balance goes, but Protoss has figured out this matchup so well that it's really hard to be a Zerg right now, because the Protoss have so many different ways to attack you and to also defend against all-ins. It's really, now is a time of Protoss comfort in this matchup. I've even, with my laddering, been doing so well against Zerg because I just feel like no matter what they do, I can scout it. I have so many different scouting options. I have observers, I have hallucination. I can see exactly what the Zerg is up to and design a composition to beat the Zerg. So it's really cool to see Zergs now doing creative things and trying to figure out exactly how to deal with Protosses right now. Different styles are coming back from old school ways like Linux. Different types of all-ins are really becoming popular again, and some Zergs are figuring out how to even use Ultralists instead of Broodlords at times in the matchup. It's really cute and exciting to see what Zergs are doing. This probe will scout the third BBoongBBoong. And this is just one of those things that's so easy for a Protoss to do, to scout this base, and it's hard for the Zerg to stop him.
Without speed, basically doesn't stand a chance against the probe, as long as the probe is not on creep, of course. And well, speed is usually very well leased these days, and this is exactly what happens in this game as well, because BBoongBBoong just now getting the first 2 extractors and getting the gas. He'll probably start dropping a Roach Warren and an Evolution Chamber in roughly 30 seconds to a minute in order to prepare for potential all-ins of his opponent. And we will definitely see some gateway pressure here by HerO with a +1 attack upgrade being built, and he gets 2 additional gateways.
Yeah, not 3, interestingly enough.
It's a bit weird. And there's it already. The Roach one a little bit earlier.
Yep, and we're gonna see right now HerO is just taking the tower. He knows his opponent won't have speed just yet, and it looks like he doesn't really want to commit to this very much.
It kind of looks like he's saving up some minerals as well in order to go for an expansion with 3. Oh, he transitions into the Twilight Council. But yeah, that's something that we've seen lately quite often, that the Protoss players try to take a third, just get 3 gates, maybe 4, poke up a little bit, not committing, but just forcing the Zerg to get units, because he's not sure if there's going to be an attack or just a little bit of poking going on by the Protoss. And then Protoss switches over, tries to take a third and secure it, and this makes him just so much stronger and gives him a lot more late game options in order to defeat his opponent.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I really like exactly how HerO is doing this. It doesn't look like he wants to commit a lot. He just really is going to pressure until Zergling speed is done. He's going to get out there. He's already forced roaches, though, and he's going to make a third base that he can easily defend. I really, really like this. This is something that HerO and Genius actually both do so well. It is just putting this pressure on. It's not fake pressure because it is very real, but with the faster Twilight Council, you get +2 quickly, and you can get your third up.
Yeah, and what's also very important is that you start to getting Blink as fast as possible. If you have 3 bases, you need to make sure that your Stalkers are very, very fast, that they are mobile and can just blink to defend, for example, against Mutalisk play. So that's a very, very smart decision here by HerO, and this just all works together so well.
He's actually going to get into the main base and scout. Look at this. Probe had a bodyguard. Probe gets in, sees the lair timing. So important to see. And did he? I don't know if he saw the evolution chamber, but if he sees that, it'll be very, very telling. Now the Zergling will scout the third base. 3 additional gateways going up for HerO right now as well, but he's not making them actually as part of a wall at the third. You can see that BBoongBBoong is moving out right now with a ton of units. Looks like he wants to put some pressure on. And this is the kind of thing that HerO already expects and is preparing for. He's forced a lot of units. He has to now defend against those units. If he can defend his third, he'll get a huge lead. There are some roaches coming with this push as well. That's going to be the scary part. Oh, and it looks like BBoongBBoong's actually going to go for the natural instead.
BBoongBBoong trying to get in here. We have a 4th base coming up for him. The harvester count is currently 68 of 50. BBoongBBoong trying to commit here, but it's gonna be that's not gonna be easy. He kind of needs to open up a flank if he really wants to crush this force. He can't afford to attack from one side only with the force fields in the picture.
See, here's the reason why this build is so strong by HerO is it forces a lot of units, but then because HerO knows this attack will come, he can be adequately prepared to defend it. And now there's just so many additional units that have been made for BBoongBBoong that he cannot use. HerO has a third base up, and he's looking strong. But BBoongBBoong's now teching a lot. He's getting the Infestation Pit, he's getting Burrow, Roach Speed, even has +1 missile weapons on the way. And he's taking a 4th base and making a macro hatch right now. He is really powering up, knowing that he got a little bit behind as far as the build order differences went, but he's just going to make up for it right now, doing everything at once and not wasting the units that he made.
94 supply against 130 now in total supply. The upgrades 2-0 for HerO. Still on 0-0 is BBoongBBoong trying to get the +1 attack upgrade for range. And we have Passage and Glance as well. And at this point, HerO on 3 bases is looking pretty safe. BBoongBBoong has to find the right timing to attack his opponent. And I'm a little bit surprised that we only have 2 cannons here. Oh, getting another pile in order to make sure. But I would have expected at least 1 gate or maybe something.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he made his gate. It's not as part of the wall.
So right now we have all the gates in the main base where he's already preparing for Mutalisk pressure that's not coming. So he has all these Stalkers in position. Very smart play here by HerO. It's just, he's prepared for everything that could happen now.
Yeah, he really is. He's even getting +3 right now so quickly, and I really like the position HerO's in. Sure, he's down 60s player right now, but that's pretty normal in this matchup. The bigger concern, I feel, is that there are Infestors out with no Robo, so he cannot get Colossi to deal with those, and the Hive is on the way. Those are going to be the scary parts for HerO. He's going to have to deal with potentially Broodlords, as there is a Spire on the way now, and all those Fungals he won't be able to deal with easily without Colossi in his composition.
Stalker scouting the 4th base, taken down by Lings and Roaches. The upgrades now started for BBoongBBoong. He's on +1 armor attack for the ranged units already, and we have armor +1 melee attack. And of course all these techs that Wolf was just elaborating on with the Hive tech, he will be in a great position. But HerO already transitioning into the robotics bay, and as soon as he realizes that there's a Hive and also the Spire, he will start with the Fleet Beacon, will start with the Stargate, a Fleet Beacon, trying to get this mothership into play. And he already tries to get a 4th base as well, expanding to the top left, where Zergling is now just killing the building probe.
See, this is a really scary moment with no Colossi. He does force field out the Infestors. Now he's going to be able to take out a ton of Zerglings. And that Fungal just barely missed with his blink back. Nice blink by HerO, and he's evening up the supply pretty quickly.
He got kind of lucky there. This fungal could have hit a lot earlier. He was a bit slow with this blink, and if he would have been a second too late, then suddenly all those stalkers would have been trapped at the front and probably died to the attack of BBoongBBoong. So very nice, but here we have the force fields once again. The fungals, they hit this time. HerO is on 150 supply against 176. Nice attempt of bringing the force field to play to force the infestors back. At this point he's just warping in once more, blocked in the back with one of his immortals, but he definitely has enough forces to roll this off, and wow, he might be able to pick off all the infestors.
All the infestors. One fungal will not be enough to stop these stalkers. He'll need a second one. Oh, the Zerglings though come to the rescue. He will take out the rest of these roaches and force field out the Zerglings. Nice save by BBoongBBoong on the infestors. I thought he would lose them for sure.
Yeah, nice defense here, but still HerO on 136 against 177, with Adrenal Glands now coming up, the Corruptors being built, and also the Great Aspire. So HerO has to be very careful, even though on 3 bases he is on +3 attack, but still, in regards to the supply, he is lagging behind quite a bit.
Yeah, this is the key here is that HerO has those key upgrades. There's 112 Zerglings out, as you just showed, and I think when the next Colossus pops out, he may have to attack. He can no longer sit back and defend because the Greater Spire is done. Broodlords are morphing, Kaldor. Things are going to get really scary. They're going to get out of hand. These infestors are going to have to buy time with fungals. Here we go. We're going to have an engagement. He's actually going to try to fight this. Yeah, I think that's the better choice, just to get out. He's going to lose another infestor, though. 2 more infestors going down, but he does damage the stalkers quite significantly.
If he actually manages to take out more of these infestors, and I think that even with the Broodlords in the picture, the Stalkers might just able to get close enough to snipe them down. A Zergling run by hits one of the Colossi. Great pickoff here by BBoongBBoong. Are getting in a good position, but look at all these overseers. He could actually just lose them, and here the first of the Broodlords. He's blinking in, taking down one of them already. One last infestor, few infestors in the back as well. Here are the Broodlords. Is he going to blink in? Yes, he is. He gets into position, takes down 2 of the Broodlords right away. Very, very nice. Well done by HerO here. And BBoongBBoong needs to be a little bit more careful with his high-tech units.
Yeah, I think this trade though was really good for BBoongBBoong because, or rather for HerO, because even though he lost all of his stalkers, he was able to kill a lot of the Broodlords. He's keeping the Broodlord count low because that is something that is going to be so important for BBoongBBoong. He needs to get that Broodlord count up to be able to control the map. And HerO can remake stalkers so quickly, it's not really a concern for him. But BBoongBBoong's Broodlord reproduction is going to take a lot longer. It's much more expensive.
The 4th base building now to the top left, BBoongBBoong maxing out once again, but this time the army supply is 65 to 109, 82 drones for the Zerg player of the Prime team, trying to get a 5th base now. So very nice economy here by BBoongBBoong. I really kind of like his play. Sometimes a bit overzealous with his attacks, losing a ton of Zerglings to his opponent. The timings may be a bit off. He could have done a lot more pressure if he would have split his units, attacked the 3rd, and tried to put pressure onto the natural as well. But overall, he plays a very nice macro game here. But it's gonna be pretty scary for him as HerO is now getting Storm into the picture, is adding more Colossi, is adding a 4th base. He just has a great economy and all this gas that he needs for his tech, which also obviously shows when we have a quick look at his upgrades. With +1 armor and +3 attack, he's already far ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, his opponent just finished 2-2 right now, and I'm kind of surprised HerO's not getting any more armor upgrades. It's not as important. Now you can see BBoongBBoong here killing some roaches to make his composition much stronger. He can add additional Broodlords in as a result. I like this. Storm is almost done, as you were mentioning. A Warp Prism is on the way with 5 High Templar already out. I think we will definitely see some Storm flanks, some feedback flanks, or potentially even Storm drops on Mineral Line. There's a lot of potential here. The Stargate is on the way, so we will probably see a Mothership fairly soon as well as he takes that base to the top left. He's going to need that gas to support all of this, but I think he'll be able to hold this next attack if he controls his army. Well, in total right now we have 11 Broodlords out on the map. That's so many. It's going to be very difficult to deal with.
11 Broodlords, definitely a very, very scary force. Even going for the Warp Prism speed at this time, which makes a lot of sense if he wants to start dropping his opponent in the base, for example. It gives him a lot more flexibility in order to bounce between the bases. +3/+3 being upgraded for the Broodlings, and also of course Zerglings in case he needs to resupply his army with a few melee units. And we have, what's the army for HerO? It's actually just over here with 2 of his into this Colossi, and we have 2 Archons and 5 High Templar. Here's BBoongBBoong going in now, trying to put pressure onto the Forge, taking it down, no more upgrades at this point, losing another Colossus.
Very unfortunate. Here we go. Stalker's blinking in here. He does take out a few Broodlords right away. Some key storms going down, repositioning the army. He's getting some feedbacks as well. Transfuses on the Broodlords though, keeping them alive. But HerO's army remains alive. You can see the supply dropping very rapidly for BBoongBBoong right now.
Very well played so far by HerO. He's left a ton of units and blinks in once again with a few reinforcements from behind, avoiding the funnel. Still a lot of transfusions going on by the Queens, but those Broodlords under a lot of pressure now. HerO 130 supply against 150 for his opponent. A pretty tight battle that we have here, resupplying his army. The Zerg player is going for 60 additional
Yeah,
Zerglings.
and the core just went down, so no more Stalkers for HerO, as he's not even started to remake that. If he doesn't make any more Stalkers, he's not going to be able to deal with the Broodlords if he doesn't take them out now. He does get them now, though. So important, so clutch to get those Broodlords at this very key moment here. And it looks like he will clean this up, and he keeps all of his mining bases. He does lose his Forge, he loses his core, and a little bit of production, but overall, it was a pretty good trade for HerO, and to be quite frank, I didn't think he was going to be able to win that fight.
Yeah, it looked very grim, especially after most of the Stalkers already died and he had a problem resupplying, but now beautiful storms. Lings are just very inefficient against this army composition that HerO just has on the map right now, so a little bit of a problem for BBoongBBoong. He lost a ton of Zerglings. He's still taking down probes though, but the Stalker is able to take down every single melee unit. Well, not every single one of them. There's still a lot of them burrowed here. He needs to wait for an observer, and he's rebuilding his Forge, but I don't think he rebuilt his core, did he? There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so he is rebuilding that now. That's so important. He needs both of those structures. He's only making Colossi right now. He's not even wasting time building Zealots because he knows that's not important. He's going to add some High Templar in as well. As far as I know, he did not make the Fleet Beacon yet either, so he doesn't have the ability to make a Mothership yet, and he doesn't quite have the resources for it either. You can see the Ultralisk Cavern now going to work, and there's the Fleet Beacon. So we're going to see some Ultralisk come out here, and like I was talking about, a lot of Zergs have been trying to use Ultralisk in this matchup. I'm not still really 100% sure how I feel about that, because it doesn't always end up being effective, but the Broodlord fleet is always pretty reliable, and it's coming in here.
Yeah, I'm not sold of the idea of having Ultralisks in the mix as well. It depends a little bit on the situation, but in general I think that Ultralisks are the better choice. If you just have a few Ultralisks in order to support the Broodlords, that's fine, but playing really Ultralisk heavy is, in my opinion, not the best idea in this matchup. Especially with the Protoss player having a few Immortals in the picture, or having Arcos in order to block at front, then Stalkers behind to do extra damage on Ultralisks as well. They can kind of snipe Ultralisks really effectively. But when you have Broodlords, obviously the one problem that you have is the Archon Toilet, so you have always to make sure that you just completely fan out your Broodlords, and you should, in my opinion, always have like 2 control groups in order to make sure that those Vortex will not hit your entire army.
Yeah, at the very least, you have to have them spread when that engagement goes by, just boxing and spreading them. There is the Mothership in production. You can see +3 Carapace on the way, as well as +3 melee. That's going to make these Zerglings, Broodlings, and Ultralisks very much stronger. And Baneling speed is on the way as well. Looks like BBoongBBoong is going to continue to add some Banelings in the mix. He only has 9 with him right now. The Banelings make it more difficult to want to use the Archon Toilet, but Banelings don't do very well against Archons, but you can use them against Stalkers, for example.
And also very interesting to notice that HerO now took the lead in supply, so he is ahead at this point in time. We have still 1 armor upgrade and 3 attack upgrades for HerO, and at the same time the Roaches are on +2 armor, 1 attack. We have 2 of the Overseers. He could actually try to snipe them. If they are really at the front of the army the entire time, which is a mistake in my opinion, then he could just snipe them and make good use of his Mothership and the cloaking ability. It's not out just yet, and he will need time to get the Vortex, the energy obviously, but here we go with the next battle, just blinking in once more. A few funnels hit already, but the first Broodlords are in trouble, but the HerO is forced back by BBoongBBoong, and this is another nice blinks beneath the Broodlords. Nice storms going off, and he takes down unit after unit. All these Broodlords about to die. BBoongBBoong is trying to resupply with Ultralisks, getting +3/+3 attack, but losing this army was definitely a setback.
Yeah, a huge setback indeed. Now he's in so much trouble. In fact, from here, HerO's got so much control over the map that even with the Ultralisk, he can actually just engage whatever he wants. That's just too large of an army. If he hits all of the Ultralisks all at once, like if all 7 of them pop out, well, hold that thought. We're going to have a huge Zealot drop here in the main. See, if he engages the Ultralisk straight up, he might have to pull back, but look at he just does so much DPS, especially with the Archons in the mix. A lot of those Ultralisks are so low on health.
And BBoongBBoong is hard pressed now. He's going to lose He's going to lose most of his tech. His spawning pool is already attacked, and the Ultralisks are going down. It's just too much damage by the Stalkers.
Yep, the Stalkers just do so well against armor with +3. Even if their opponent has chitinous plating and armor, it just the damage output of the Stalkers is absolutely absurd. And it looks like he's lost the pool, the Baneling Nest, and Ultralisks actually don't do that well against Zealots. So now HerO can actually just dump a lot of minerals into Zealots to harass them, but he can also add them to his main army to tank for the Stalkers. And other ships going to recall. He's actually doing a recall attack here. This is not what I expected to see. With the Archon here, there's going to do so much damage. And are there any overseers who have to use Fungal for detection?
Oh, and this is bad. If you get fungled with your Stalkers and they're attacked head-on by the Ultralisk, then they usually completely die. This is what happens. Most of them already dead and gone. Very well done here by BBoongBBoong, but he has a big problem once again. At his base, at the natural, there is a one Warp Prism with a very, very cute drop. Retreats with one Colossus. Very well done. Taking down additional tech, taking down a lot of tech structures. The Spire as well. And BBoongBBoong is slowly but steadily losing his control of the game.
He no longer has a grasp on the game. He's spread too thin, and this is just a GG.
Types GG leaves the match. HerO takes the first game. Very well done in this best of 3. HerO taking the lead against BBoongBBoong in Daybreak.